Time to cut and run? My D-Day was 6 months ago. Been with my husband for 12 years. We have an 18-month-old, and just after he was born, he took a job where he's on the road for 6-8 weeks and home for 1. It was a mutual decision we spoke about extensively before he took it, and it was a great career move. 3 months into the road gig, communication declined. He became very short with me, sometimes wouldn't call or text for days. I became suspicious, but of course every time I approached the subject, he denied. Said he was just stressed out at work. He's been a heavy drinker the entirety of our time together, and I've dealt with text messages and flirtatious behavior throughout that time. It got so bad at one point he was sleeping in his truck at the bar for the whole weekend so he could just continue on his benders. He ended up getting a DUI, which forced him to sober up for the better part of 2 years. When the DUI happened, I was so over the BS that I decided to leave. He talked me into staying by saying he would stay sober. Then 2 years and it started to creep back in, but never got to the point it was before again, until this job. Site 1, all of a sudden he's renting a room above a bar in a boarding house near the work site, which makes it far too easy to drink excessively when you get off work. Every time I bring it up, he got defensive. Every time I get a call from him and he's clearly been drinking, he got defensive. Every time he goes a day or 2 without contacting me and I call him on it, he got defensive. Always an excuse. Site 2, I find him an apartment in a small town not far from site, thinking that this is 100% better than living in the crap motel with all of the rest of the 20-something digins he works with. He'll stay out of trouble. Come to find out, that place is walking distance to the local watering hole, and we're right back in the same situation we were at Site 1. 9 months into the job, he comes home and immediately gets blackout drunk night 1 and passes out. I can't stand it anymore and go through his phone. Come to find out he's got a GF at both Site 1 and Site 2, and both are barmaids original, I know. In reading through the implicit threads, I come to find out that Site 1 chick actually came to visit him at Site 2 right before our son's first birthday, and Site 2 chick drove him to the GD airport for his flight home. He calls Site 1 chick babe, which is my nickname. I come to find out that all the times he was supposedly out with his made-up co-worker, a man, he was with one of them. He told me he had developed a fondness for white Russians all of a sudden, which I come to find out is a drink Site 2 chick makes him all the time. He bought camping equipment so he could get out and do something away from the bar on weekends. He was away from the bar but with one of them, too. I took my son to the ER one night with a 105 fever and he was admitted for observation. I called, texted 10 times and never heard back because he was with Site 1 chick. Many more examples like this. I do not speak to him the next morning. He texts me throughout the day wondering what's wrong. I do not answer. I wait until I put our son to sleep that night and then tell him what I know. He yells at me and adamantly denies, despite the fact that I'm showing him screenshots of the conversations I read and pics they've exchanged. This all transpired on day 1 of his R&R, so he's still got 6 days at home, which we spend in awkwardness. Over the next week, he takes ownership of his sins and agrees to sobriety, permanent, therapy individual and joint, to somehow get off the road and to officially break it off with both women. I arrange for a joint session while he's home, and the MC essentially lays out a step-by-step plan for him to follow, which echoes what we've already discussed. I agree to stay and work on it so long as these things happen, which I don't think I would have done without a tiny human in the picture. I ask him why and he says it's because he realized his dependence on me and I wasn't there. Insert eye roll here. There was a legitimate relationship with chick 1 based on the text messages, but he swears it was only on her part. Keep in mind he berated me for telling her off in a text message, because if I was only going to leave him anyway, why mess up what he had? Seriously? He said she kept coming on to him and wouldn't give up, so he finally gave in. Mind you, I've been beating myself up because I gained 10 pounds after having our son, and this chick has 2 sizes on me. Chick 2 is 50-something and looks like a horse IFB stalked. In his words, no BS, she had a hysterectomy and wanted to know if she could still feel things. Yeah. That came out of his mouth. It was a friend thing, just helping her out. JFC, 2 months down the road and he has done none of those things aside from supposedly staying sober. Hard to say seeing as how we live 1,200 miles apart and there's zero accountability. I decide to hire a lawyer and file for divorce. He magically begins therapy. I agree to hold off. The rest has yet to happen. We're now 6 months out from D-Day and I am no better off than I was on day 1 outside of the fact that I don't hate him anymore. It consumes my thoughts. In the past few weeks the love switch turned off, and I no longer see him as my romantic partner. I shudder every time he touches me. I can't look at him without seeing them. If I don't hear from him, I am instantly triggered and lose my essence. I should note that I have been in personal therapy since I found out and, knowing the full history of our relationship, my therapist thinks it is not healthy for me to stay. That his inability to admit his reliance on alcohol and take any initiative post-D-Day is a recipe for recurrence which, in all fairness, has been the cycle throughout our entire 12 years together. However, I still find myself liking him. We're still friends. We still enjoy each other's company. All of which makes me think there's a chance despite knowing better deep down. We both come from broken homes and I did not want this for our son. But I know from personal experience staying too long in an unhappy relationship isn't good for kiddos or us either. Feel like this is played out as much as it can. Like I've given as many chances as I can and it's time to cut and run. Redditor's reactions. Story 2 after. Redditor 1, the whole broken home comment kills me every time. You staying for the child isn't sustainable. Your child could care less about coming from a traditional household which you don't have regardless of any of this because he's on the road constantly. However, they will absolutely have an awful life if their mother and caretaker is miserable 24/7. Op answer, I agree. Never thought I'd be the person to use that excuse yet here I am. At some point you've got to look out for yourself and your own sanity because you're right, kids pick up on that. Redditor 2, more than possibly cheating, the drinking is a problem. Why are you throwing away your life on a man who loves booze more than you? The end result of excessive drinking is either death or dementia. Op answer, had so many of my friends tell me I'm the one thing that's keeping him alive. That he will be dead within 5 years if I leave him. I just have to keep reminding myself that's not my burden to bear. Redditor 3, did either now he was married and had a kid? Did you tell both of them about each other? Op answer, yes, supposedly according to him both knew he was married and had a kid. I didn't reach out to either, despite a strong desire to do so, outside of the one Snapchat reply to Chick 1 telling her not to contact my husband again. Story 2, he swears it was an EA but I'm paranoid I have an STD. Right now we are NC. He swears it was only a EA and nothing physical. But I am worried I have an STD/STI as I have some irritation and itching. I had a screening and blood work 2 weeks ago and I'm not scheduled to follow up until December 14th but I've not heard anything at all from my drive. It is also worth noting I have a history of being a hypochondriac so I'm not sure if I am justifiably worried. If it was plus would my doctor at least reached out to move my appointment? My panic mode is increased right now as we are going into the weekend, and I won't be able to call my doctor until Monday, a few days away. Update, my partner of 9 years left me. I feel so heartbroken and I what to do. I was with my boyfriend for going on 9 years when he broke up with me about a month ago. The relationship was always great, and I'm not just saying that with rose-colored glasses on. We didn't fight constantly. We were best friends, we had so much fun together, inside jokes, great physical chemistry. He always told me how beautiful I was and how much he loved me. Even until the last minute. We did everything together and we lived together the whole time. Even last month he said he wanted to spend forever with me and that this last near decade has been the best years of his life. He was my life partner, the love of my life, and what I thought my soulmate. He started acting pretty distant, which I noticed going back almost 2 weeks, which I picked up on, but I never thought it would be what it was. I found out he was cheating on me within that time period. An emotional affair with his coworker. He told me he had doubts about our relationship going back a couple months, and little problems, and he confided in her and it escalated to an affair. The problems he had were small, like me spending a lot of time on my phone and seeming annoyed with him sometimes, and like I wasn't listening and hanging on his every word after almost 9 years. Come on. Those are the only reasons he gave me. But he never once told me these things bothered or hurt him. I feel like they were very fixable, but he let it lead to resentment, and he thinks we can't work on things. Basically, I kicked him out once I found out about the cheating. And the next day he met with her to tell her we were breaking up, before I even knew about it. And once I caught him, he flipped like a switch. His behavior is extremely bizarre and out of character. He knows what it's like to be cheated on and that pain. His long-term girlfriend before me cheated on him with her boss. I found out he iced out all his friends and family and had not talked to any of them for 2-3 months. He even quit going back to school without telling me. He has been having money stress and stress at work. We never struggled with communication until now. I don't know if it is some sort of psychotic break. Now he is very cold and callous toward me. He continued to be mean. He told me he cannot consider my feelings anymore after all I asked was for him to stop talking to her, in some attempt to make things right. But he refuses and says they are just friends, and he can't see how a relationship of any capacity with the woman he cheated on me with continues to hurt me. I just don't understand how he can cling so hard to a woman he has known for 4 months, but let go of me so easily after 10 years. I feel like I've been thrown away and tossed aside. I feel worthless. My self-esteem is so low. Worst of all, I miss him so much. And I still love him. I have hope for some sort of reconciliation, although I know I probably shouldn't. I just can't picture my life without him. We are no contact right now, although he did text me Happy Thanksgiving the other day. My birthday is next week. This is my first birthday and holiday season without him in over 9 years. I keep hoping he will realize how much he loves and misses me and change his mind and call or text me to meet up. I miss my person and my best friend. I miss what we had together. Our relationship keeps playing like a movie in my head, and I cannot stop thinking about all our happy memories, especially this holiday season. I am so heartbroken and depressed. I can barely eat. When I do sleep, I have nightmares. My anxiety is high. I'm constantly crying and in a lot of emotional pain. It's even affecting my work. I can barely function or focus on anything I love, including reading and movies. I'm just so sad all the time and I don't know what to do. I am in a bad place mentally and I feel like it is never going to get better, and I will never be happy again. If you've read all that, I thank you for your time. I just don't know what to do and it feels good sometimes to just get it out. Update: saw he bought her and her kid Christmas presents. About to have a mental breakdown at work. I was on my break at work and was going to do some browsing for my Secret Santa. I forgot our Amazon account was shared. I opened the app and on the home page it had purchase history. A jewelry box and toys. I know this is for AP and her child, as we do not have children and there are no other women or children in his life. His mom is deceased. We are NC right now. But he told me he broke things off. I just don't know. I feel like it's a new betrayal all over again. I literally feel my blood boiling. I don't know what to do. Redditor's reaction story 3 after. Redditor 1, it's wild how similar this is to our situation, minus the actual affair. But they went for coffee a week and a half after he broke it off, so pretty close. Stay ducking strong. All you want to do is go back to having your best friend around all the time. All you want to do is go back to where it's comfortable. but it will do more damage to yourself than good. You deserve to be with someone who wants to fight for you. You will be happy again. These are all the things my friends and family tell me that I still don't feel but will repeat to myself until I do. Feel free to DM me if you want to talk. It hurts so much. Redditor 2, know that your pain is really normal and try to give yourself time to let it sink in and adjust. I would recommend to keep no contact for him to feel how it is without you and allow him to miss you. It's not attractive to anyone if you know that you can go back to someone whenever you want to anyway. Focus on yourself, try to do something new and make some new friends. Same here is that if you want him back, the chances of this working out are higher when he notices you having fun without him than being depressed and needy. It's super hard, but there is nothing else you can do at this moment than working on yourself. Be nice to yourself, try something new and allow time to show what will happen. Let him miss you and take a lot of care. 3. Op answer, thank you for the advice. It's really hard not talking to him, but I know it's what I need to do. I just have to keep reminding myself these things. Redditor 3, never go back. I speak from experience, certain things are intrinsic character flaws. Some PPL simply don't have loyalty to you in their DNA. Story 3, should I get back with my ex who got 2 lifelong STDs after cheating? My ex cheated on me. We had a small argument a little while ago. Thought we resolved it, but actually he didn't think so. I immediately found out the day they first had a SX. He stopped it, apologized and regretted it, wanting to start over. I rejected and parted our ways. After 5 months, he reached out and apologized again regretfully. We met again and told me he was with another woman within a month after our breakup to move on from me. He also disclosed he was diagnosed with 2 lifelong STDs, not life-threatening, after 2 months with this woman. They ended things anyway. He tried to win me back. When I'm with him, I clearly know that I'm still very happy. I can feel that he does want to be with me again. At the same time, I can't help but compare myself with the woman he was with after me, as he said he was a good man to her, did more better things for her cause he wanted to be a good man after me. It was so unfair to me that he treated me unfairly, and I need to risk my life to be with him again. I'm a woman who takes herself seriously. I spent those 5 months focusing on myself, doing the inner work to heal from the heartbreak. I still love him, or maybe it's the trauma bond. I just don't know what to do. Letting go still feels so hard. It hurts me to see him go again, but I don't know if the risks are worth taking. I'll be very grateful if you can give me some advice. Thanks a lot. Update: thank you so much for everyone who left comments. I know this is absolutely a naive question to ask. Speaking truthfully, I have the answer deep down already. Maybe I'm too scared to face it, lack of the courage to. So I really need everyone in my life, who I know or not, to tell me it's a big no-no, as a confirmation that this is the right thing to do. And every one of you gave me the bravery to deal with the pain and really make a decision that I'll not regret later. It might seem scary now, but I'll get through it. Thank you so much for your warmth and love. Second update: I really want to thank all of you again for showing me support, kindness, and keeping me sane from the comments. If I ever feel weak and fragile again, I'll scroll through all of your comments to help me stay on the right track and trust the process. Have a good day. Redditor's reactions. Redditor 1, if you really are a woman who takes herself seriously, then you shouldn't even be considering getting back together with this guy. Redditor follow-up, couldn't have said it better. Forget about relationship. Think about your health. Redditor 2, rephrase your question. Should I get back together with my desperate ex who has 2 STDs due to his selfish and careless behavior? He would rather be comfortable with me because he knows I won't judge him or put him last. Another woman would hell know her way away from someone who does not take sexual health seriously or can be faithful. Does taking back that person sound appealing? I am not against dating someone who has made past mistakes, but your ex sounds like scum and you sound trauma bonded. Breaking away from toxicity is very hard, but peace of mind is priceless. Op answer, thanks. That's true, I did think ABT that he just knows I'm his safe option. Redditor 3, Jesus, no. Good God, girl, what are you doing? Why are you even talking to this guy? Do you have kids together? No? Then block the idiot on everything. There is only bad news come from that side of hell. Do not let codependency ruin your life. Op answer, thanks. No, luckily we don't have kids. Exactly, codependency, but it just seems so hard to break it. Redditor 4, no. 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 Cut the cancer out of your life and go full NC. He has no respect for you. 2x lifelong STD says it all. Redditor 5, what are the STDs and what are your goals in life? Some STDs make it very hard for women to have children. Adoption and fertility treatments are expensive. If you want children, I wouldn't. Some won't affect him but will increase your risk significantly for cervical cancer. Even with the minor STDs, you may have a hard time finding another partner and be stuck with him and how he treats you. Many people aren't willing to bring lifelong problems into their lives, and it will make moving on and finding someone that much harder. It's a huge risk, even with the perfect partner. This is an already known cheater who didn't respect or treat you well. You may be better off going to Vegas if you're feeling lucky than to bet your life that he has changed. Op answer, thanks. Herpes and HPV. Everything you said I did think about, and I know the risks are enormous. I don't even think I can handle if got it one day.